back, and today we're filming a podcast. I'm with my good friend.
Asa. Solis, nice to meet you.
And we heard some pretty alarming news recently that private equity companies are buying YouTube channels now. And we wanted to talk about how information is being bought.
Yeah, so now in this landscape ever more that you're always at your phone is always at at the touch of your hand and stuff, that you're always on a screen, whether it's your phone, your Apple Watch, your computer, that you're always glued to a screen nowadays, right? That's just how it is. And because that's the case, I would think that we're more now easily influenced than we were back in the day, because you're always looking at something, some news, some headline from whatever company, whatever program you're following, and it's just good to not just be a sheep and to not always just go with the flow and to still form your own opinions, your own values, your own perspectives through your own personal experiences. Yeah. And so I guess that's what we're going to talk about today, is how you need to be intellectually independent with what you see around the world, and you can't just really follow what mainstream news or influencers just tell you to think.
Do you think that's on purpose, what they're telling us to think? Or do you think like trends and what's popular is organic? Or is it all like a couple people at the top like doing a little play?
Yeah, so there's I would definitely say there's some material that it's organic, There is still real grassroots efforts today. Like, that is the cool thing about certain social media like TikTok, Instagram, where you do have the For You page, how you really can blow up if you have the right algorithm and the content and what like blows up, the algorithm. So yes, you can still organically grow. However, there's definitely push narratives for sure, that for whatever reason it might be, to influence us to think a certain way, to not think about certain things. And obviously it's not a perfect world, right? But you still have to navigate it yourself, and just try to keep an open mind and try to form your own perspective. That's what we're really trying to do here.
I mean, I'd caveat that and say, like, I mean, have you heard about like TikTok in China versus the US? Have you heard about that?
Oh my God,
so
it's crazy.
In China, what they make popular is like math competitions.
It's like STEM stuff, right?
And like STEM stuff. But here it's
it's
like stealing
Euphoria,
Love
Island,
being violent. And like, do you think that's on purpose? And like, how does one combat that? You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like if you have like a kid in the future or like a little sibling, and they're on their phone all the time, like taking all this in, like.
That's a lot of content. That's a lot of divisive, inappropriate content that your 10-year-old, your 7-year-old can easily see if they download this app,
Yeah.
And I do think there's good measures. I think like France and Australia they're putting bills to ban social media for under 16-year-olds.
Ooh.
And honestly, I think that's a great idea, because like, I mean, what 13-year-old, 12-year-old needs TikTok, or truly, what do they, I don't know, like, I just think that they consume so much. People, it's like, oh, it's about connecting with friends, connecting with peers, but is that really what you do on TikTok? You're just scrolling.
Nah, you're just scrolling.
Yeah.
You're just scrolling.
You're looking at random stuff. Most of it you forget in 5 minutes. Bro, oh my gosh. Okay, that's the one thing that I'm okay with YouTube, like longer forms of content, movies. It's like you can watch an hour and a half movie, and I can give you a quiz the next day. Hey, how was the movie about? Like, what was the plot, main characters? If you scroll for an hour and a half on TikTok,
you're not gonna remember a single thing,
bro. Nothing.
I don't remember a single thing. That's so interesting. Honestly, like, even with YouTube at this point, like, like I've noticed a lot of creators are using TikTok strategies for YouTube.
Yes, yeah.
So what they'll do is like they'll flood your homepage.
Yeah.
They'll put out like a new video every couple hours. So I've just been like clicking on stuff and mindlessly watching it and not remembering, and that's like a big problem, honestly.
Yeah, and I did touch on how YouTube is, I think, a better form of content on average than TikTok. And Instagram Reels, but it's getting to a point now with the AI videos.
Yeah.
It's just AI Schlop that's long form content. So it's not too much better than like Reels or YouTube or Reels or TikTok.
Bro, I had the craziest IG Reel today.
What was it
So
about?
I had an IG Reel that was telling me to download a particular AI software so I can make AI videos to sell to people.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, comment the word AI and we'll DM you. So I commented AI.
Mm-hmm.
Couple minutes later, I get another video that's almost the exact same, but with a different face. So the video that's telling me to buy the AI is AI.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
like,
It's just a feedback loop of slop, bro.
And
That's
I
all it is.
was like, oh my God. Because you can't even tell the difference.
It's getting to a point now with like Nana Banana and with those like with Google, I think Veo. Google Veo. I know OpenAI just
They just cut theirs.
They just
right?
cut theirs, but
just a couple.
it was wasting too much money.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so hard nowadays to distinguish what's real and what's AI. Like it's gonna get to a point where I don't blame my grandparents for not knowing what's real and what's not.
I don't even know.
I feel like I feel like in 5 years we're gonna be the boomers who are like, oh, like is this AI? Is this not? Like I can't even tell because just it's getting so remarkable how similar it is.
Have you heard about I think it's the dead internet theory?
Yeah. How it's just like bots, like how it's just
I'm starting to notice that a little more recently.
With AI, that's definitely accelerating for sure. I used to think that bots had to be, they're automated, right? But there had to be someone kind of behind, like doing like the underlinings, But now with AI and how agentic it is and how it can kind of, operate semi on its own now. Like we truly live in a time where, you just be talking to a bot the entire time for a whole conversation.
Yeah, it's crazy. We or some of my friends, they were thinking about making an AI Instagram page.
Okay.
And basically like catfishing guys using AI.
I have heard of this before. I have heard of this before. It's come up on my For You page a bit recently. How they'll just make like an AI page and like how we were saying how boomers, it's hard for them to distinguish like what's real and what's not. They think like, oh my gosh, like a really attractive girl is starting to come on my page and is DMing me.
Yeah.
It's like they're gonna love that attention, and that's when it happens to fall for scams or for blackmailing, and so it's just man, you got to keep your guard up nowadays, man. Online literacy for sure.
For sure. So we're both in college right now, and like I wanted to ask you if you have seen any examples of like people being less social or relying more on AI. Like, I definitely have a couple examples, but I don't know if you did as well.
Yeah, so it's gotten to the point where in some of my classes, my classmates will almost exclusively use chat or Claude for even, like, little assignments. Even little assignments that it's like, hey, like, I want you to summarize what you've learned in this class. Even over the semester or even, like, a couple classes. And while they don't have, like, text online to really, like, show what they've learned in class. Obviously, it's what you have in your head, mostly. Like, they'll just ask Claude, like, hey, just draft me up a random sample of a paragraph. And that's the thing. It's like, AI is great when you use it as a tool, but when it becomes a crutch and it just, like, slows your cognitive, like, improvements, that it's just a crutch, It's just hurting you long term. I don't know. That's definitely one example that comes to mind. But what about you? You guys said you had a couple?
I mean, at this point, there's so many classes where you don't have to think anymore.
That's not crazy to say. That's not crazy to say.
Like, you just the assignment is pointless. It's made by AI.
Yeah.
And then the work is also pointless. It's made by AI. And it kind of makes you think like, damn, why am I even in school if like AI can do what I'm doing but way better?
It's like there's such a lack of authenticity anymore.
Yeah.
It's like I go into like my friend was telling me how a professor sent him an email about an upcoming assignment and test. There was a big paragraph, and he's like, this looks like awfully like chatted, and he just went to an AI detector. It was 100%.
Yeah.
Like she couldn't even write an email about a test in school. I don't know. It's just it's getting out of hand, and it's just I don't know. It's really making the whole university experience a lot less exciting.
Yeah.
Because people aren't really creating. They're not going out there and producing their own work.
They're not at all. And I think like it's even worse the lower in grades you go.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, he tutors at a middle school, and he was saying how like the kids don't even talk to each other. They don't play sports anymore.
Yeah, I won't like. I used to tutor middle school, and I'm not gonna obviously say like what it is or anything, but yeah, I would observe how there was kids who, we would do multiplication of just like 5 times 10, and it'd be like, oh, like let me use my chat. 5 times 10. 5 times 10. And I don't know, it's just I think it's bad for our age right now, but I think it's so much worse for like Generation Alpha who's growing up on chat.
They're gonna be dumb. Like if I was a kid with AI, I would not know how to spell my name. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean,
J-O.
no, that's true. That's
There's
true.
no way.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw a study, but I saw a study on it like maybe a couple months back, how anthropologists like over time, since they've been like recording like intellect and IQ among like generations, how they've noticed a phenomenon where each year it slightly goes. I'm sorry, each generation it slightly goes up. So like silent generation, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, right? And so the what's it called? The trend was that you would go up a little bit, increase access to education, nutrition, all that stuff, right? And the phenomenon was like, oh, it's going to continue to go up, right? Well, Generation Alpha is the first generation not to follow that.
Really?
Yeah. And honestly, I don't blame them.
So it's gone down or it's maintained?
It's slightly, if I recall correctly, it's slightly below Gen Z on average. So which that's crazy for them to break a trend like that. That was going on since they started recording it around like 5 to 4 generations ago. But yeah, I mean, that's not crazy to me though. Like when I hear that, I think that kids read a lot less in school. Like, I mean, nowadays, don't get me wrong, I don't read as much as I want to.
Even our generation.
Even our generation doesn't read as much as we want to, but like when I was in elementary, dude, I was reading so many books.
Yeah.
They did a great way back then to like gamify this. I don't know if you had it. We had something called like AR points, accelerated reading points.
We didn't have that.
Okay,
what was that?
Yeah, so accelerated reading, it was like a program that was in place to like reward students and like gamify reading. So say like the book was 300 pages and had a certain amount of words. Based on the pages and words, you would take a test on it online, and if you like got like a satisfactory score, you would get points. And each book had a certain amount of points. So bigger book, 20 points. Lower book, 5 points. And so at the end of the year, they would have, at least at our school, they did a great job. They would have like your progress. And it's like, oh, you are at 100 points, but this guy's at 150. You got to catch up to him,
Yeah.
And so, bro, I read so much in elementary just because like everyone kind of rallied around that and was pretty competitive with the reading. But once that went away in middle school and high school, I could definitely tell a lot less students read when there wasn't really an incentive in place to.
Yeah, for sure. And at this point, like, how do you even incentivize a kid to read with that sort of system when they can go on their phone and use Instagram Reels and TikTok?
There's, oh my gosh, there's no other generation except for Gen Alpha that grew up when they were like 5 to 7 to 8 that sees that much dopamine. Like even us, right? We would have iPads when we were like 10, but the algorithm and the system in place is to like capture your attention and
it's too good.
It's
now.
down to a science, and it wasn't really as effective when we were their age as it is now. So I feel bad for them. Their attention span is hijacked. Their dopamine system is completely rigged, and a book just doesn't seem as fun as it used to be for other generations.
It doesn't.
And I don't know, when you have someone who is digesting TikTok, Instagram, Schlop from the age of 6 and onward, I don't know how they're gonna develop. I don't know if it'll be that different, but it definitely won't be for the best.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about the use of trends as a military weapon.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
I want to talk about the 6'7" trend. Like,
Okay.
Listen, there's no way that 6'7" should be funny to everyone. And I think that the 6'7" trend was like a test from I don't know who.
Okay.
But I think they were testing like how dumb are the masses? How dumb are human beings? What can we make funny? Because
Okay.
I genuinely think like they're trying to figure out a way to like control everyone, and I think it's working. Like I don't know if that's too far fetched, but I just don't get how like saying the word 6'7" can be funny. Realistically.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like I haven't laughed at it. Like I'm not above.
Yeah.
I'm not above the rest of the people, but I don't know. I just sometimes I struggle to see how certain things can blow up, and I feel like they can be pushed by someone that's not us, in a sense.
That's true. I mean, in regards for 6'7", I don't know if like it was purposely pushed, but I definitely think that it's a reflection of how far as a society we've like low key begun to become like sheep. You know, like you know, that's crazy.
It's
And
like 6'7's funny now, and everyone laughs.
it's two numbers. Like yeah, like the like Generation Alpha nowadays, like you can't teach them math that has a 6 or a 7 in it anymore because they go crazy and they just lose like their focus and everything when you say 6'7", and so I don't know. That's just I don't know if anyone actually pushed that, but that's just it just shows like how I don't know far along as a society that we've come, you know, in a not so great way, and I think that ties back into how you can't just form your own opinions and perspectives on what you see online and TikTok and Instagram. Like if you're just getting pushed 6'7" meme, you're getting pushed Love Island, like all that stuff. It's
Euphoria.
like Euphoria. It's like that's not a great way. I don't know. I think that even like say like our parents' generation, right? They're Gen Xers, right?
Yeah.
I think mine are Gen Xers too. Like yes, they had a TV in their or usually had a TV in their living room, some sort of media. But I think they still had a lot of their thoughts come from like books they read in school, newspapers. I don't know about you, but my dad loved like newspapers, and he still reads newspapers today. Crazy.
Same.
But like newspapers were such a big outlet, and honestly, a lot more constructive than nowadays where kids are on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's like if the quality of media that we're now I would say, would you agree that the quality of media today that kids consume is lower than say our parents' generation?
100%.
100%, right? So when you keep lowering the quality of media for kids now, like as it keeps going on, like it's just not a good feedback loop that it could cause, you know? Like I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be like good for the future of our generation, of our country, you know? If we keep going down this cycle. And so I guess with that being said, what are some potential solutions you think that could be in place? Like I know that we could potentially, like I said earlier, like maybe a social media ban is fitting. 16 and under or something. I know France and Australia are doing that. I feel like that could greatly benefit our nation, and other nations too, like literally everyone. Or is it not so much about the ban, but taking kind of like something from China and restricting what they see, but still allowing kids to view TikTok or Reels, you know?
So like forcing the companies to change their algorithms.
For people under a certain age.
Oh, I like that.
I don't know which one would be more beneficial.
I think the problem with that is that I think America loves like freedom at all cost.
We do.
So I don't think they would be open to like having the government force them to change their algorithms. I think
it would be only though for like minors. Probably like, you know,
only for minors, you think?
because I think it'd be pretty hard like legislation wise to pass a bill restricting them for like adults. But
that's true.
I don't know. It definitely would be. It'd be an obstacle, but I don't think it would be crazy for them to pass that for minors.
If you frame it like that, then yeah, I think it could pass. I think that would be a really good solution. I think maybe. I mean, I think I talked about this before with you, but if there was like a pandemic, but with no Wi-Fi, then I think that would restore like humans' ability to like talk to each other
my
and
gosh.
socialize.
Definitely.
But the circumstances that would cause a Wi-Fi blackout would
There would be other side
catastrophic.
effects. Yeah, there would be more jarring consequences.
Yeah,
than,
I mean, if Wi-Fi goes down, that means we're in like a world war.
Mhm.
So I don't think that's good.
Yeah.
I just struggle to see a way where the power and influence of the most powerful, like the media companies, goes away. I struggle to see that. Because as we saw with like the YouTube channels the private equity channels buying YouTube channels, like it seems like every different avenue of information is slowly being consolidated.
Yes,
and I
definitely.
just don't see how that goes away. You know, I mean maybe that's pretty pessimistic, but I just haven't thought of a way where that's gonna go away yet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would take, and what's crazy is that's not just media. Like I feel like a lot of sectors have been consolidating over the past 20 to 30 years. You know, like I know fossil fuels has, I know like big tech has, what kind of plays into media and so, yeah, I think that's just a problem like pretty broad for the U.S. How when you concentrate that much power into fewer and fewer hands, you're really gonna lose out on the media perspective. You know, you're gonna lose out on authenticity, on like real world experiences because you're just pushing out whatever like a very small group of people who are definitely not representative of the average American.
They're not.
Are pushing out, and that's all you have to watch because now your favorite YouTuber, you know, maybe in 5 or 10 years is now bought out by private equity. He's on the same schedule as these bigger guys.
And there's like certain things you can and can't say.
Exactly.
If you're a private equity owned channel.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure some of you guys have watched Fern, the YouTube channel.
Okay.
They make like documentaries. And
Yeah.
They recently got bought out by private equity.
Yeah.
And you would never know. But
You
there's
would never
some
know.
other channels where they get bought out by private equity and all of a sudden like the quality goes down or a certain guest that was on the channel just disappears.
Yeah. And what's crazy is I would assume that many of the viewers and subscribers don't know that they get bought out.
Yeah.
And so they just keep watching them.
There's no required disclosure yet to say that like you're owned by someone and they're forcing you to say XYZ.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so you could be a lifelong loyal fan to a YouTuber, and sure, the content is maybe starting to change and deviate from its normal stuff, but hey, that's your favorite guy, and you follow and you really take into account like what he says, even if it's changing and it's maybe inflammatory and it's stuff that he usually doesn't talk about. But hey, that's your guy. You know, you gotta support him.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I don't know. And so I guess we were talking before this about how because of this consolidation, because of this lack of like authentic media, how it's imperative now more than ever to really go out and explore the world that you live. Like even like, you know, we're in Austin right now, and it's very easy to get trapped in our little college bubble, right? Because, you know, our living is right next to our university. It's really easy to just stick to that area. But even if you want to explore your city, your state, your country, like you have to go out and explore the world for yourself so that you can create your own perspectives, your own opinions about stuff. You can't just follow what is being showed to you.
Yeah.
You know, because
100%.
Hey, there's biases for everyone. Everyone has biases. You know, news, groups of people, influencers.
Everyone's trying to convince you to think their way and adopt their worldview.
Exactly. For whatever reason it might be, like malicious or good, but still you have to be on guard with that. And yeah, I mean, you could have $10, right? $10 of gas. That gets you what? If you have a Corolla, like 30, 40 miles? 50? No, more. Corollas are super efficient.
Yeah, low-key more.
Yeah. Let's just say 75 miles, right? You can go to a small town, like let's say Austin, right? We can go to a very small town, 75 miles away from here, that we have no idea what's going on, no perspectives of anything, and just be there for the day. And you would come back, and I'm sure after talking to people there and seeing like their life, their values, their opinions, like you would come back slightly more well-rounded.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's just those experiences like that, especially when you're young, when you're very, your brain is very malleable. You still have that neuroplasticity that you have to go out and you have to find the world. You know, you have to find, explore, and meet new people. And you can't just be confined to your own apartment or your own city.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, even within like your day to day, like
Yeah.
I think just talking to new sets of people will like help you like expand your brain capital or like your mind capital. Is that what I said?
Intellectual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll just make you smarter. And I feel like people talk to the same people over
Yes.
and over from the
Yes.
same groups, and it just reinforces what they already believe. But I feel like you have to go out there and actively seek what's different in order to find the truth. I mean, we talked about how like, or we haven't talked about it to you guys, but he did a study abroad last semester, and that like really changed the way he like looked at the world and like his own perspective on things. And I think like, again, just in general, like talking to new people, like for example, like I talked to someone a couple months ago who was going to school and they had a kid.
Yeah.
And it was like so interesting to like hear about
a new perspective,
how their life was. Or I had another experience where there was this girl that was in my group project, and she was talking about how she came from a town of like 1,000 people.
Wow.
And how like basically all the guys there, like none of them go to college, and they all like let's say you want to rizz up there, you have to know how to like build a deck and like build a house for your girl.
Wow, that's different.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like now I know that, you know?
Yeah.
And that's so cool.
Yeah.
In comparison.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you imagine having to like build a house from scratch? That'd be tough.
Just for a date?
Yeah. It's like if you can't build a house, you're cooked.
Yeah, maybe I'm in the wrong town.
Yeah. I'm happy I'm a city boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I guess just building off what you were saying too. Like, I know I talked about maybe exploring other towns, other states, but not everyone has the ability to do that, right? I totally get that. And so, say like if you're like John and I, you're in a college campus. He's right. You know, just talk to people you normally wouldn't talk to. You're in line to get coffee. Talk to the person in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you like what they're wearing. Maybe I don't know, they have a certain look to them, or you're like, oh, like you're maybe familiar. Like, just talk to people. Like, it never hurts to just talk to someone that you don't know, because 9 times out of 10 you come out of that conversation, that experience positively.
Exactly.
You know? Like, when's the last time you like talked to someone new, maybe just like on the street, like randomly, and it was a bad experience?
Like overwhelmingly negative.
Overwhelmingly, like, damn, like why did I talk to this person? Why did I make conversation with them?
You know, that's a good question, because like
for me it's far and few.
I don't know if that's ever happened.
Right?
Like where I talk to someone and I'm like, damn, I wish I did not talk to you.
You can't really recant how many times that's been, but I'm sure you can recount some times that it's gone positively.
It's gone good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You gotta put yourself out there.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about people? Because I guess like a caveat to that is like, what do you think about people getting offended really easily in this area? Because we were talking about in marketing class how Nike put out a statement for the Boston Marathon, and it was like, runners here, walkers are tolerated, and people that are walking the Boston Marathon were offended at Nike for putting that out. Do you think people are too soft nowadays?
I think it's nuanced, right? Obviously, like there's definitely some narratives that push the political correctness and stuff that probably shouldn't be said. You know, like I can't think of one exactly, but I think for that example with Boston Marathon, I would say that may be a bit inflammatory if it was just a marathon. But dude, that's the Boston Marathon.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
You have to be freaking fast to get there.
Yeah.
Like my friend, one of our friends, he ran like for his marathon. I think he ran like 3 hours and 3 minutes or 4 minutes. That's ridiculously fast.
Gosh.
Like, hold on, let me see how much that is.
I want to see what
3
the pace
hours,
is on
3
that.
minutes per mile.
Marathon.
Let's see. Hold up. Let me do.
We're just figuring out what the per mile speed is on that. But, I mean, yeah, I do think at the same time that would make people more scared to talk to random people because they don't want to offend anyone or rub anyone off the wrong way.
I see what you're trying to do. Well, going back to the Boston. So this said 650-ish. It's like 658 per mile. For 26 miles, guys. Did you hear that? That's ridiculous. And so I think just for that Boston Marathon, I think, bro, how many people are truly walking that? Like,
I don't know.
Like aside from a freak injury, Like, truly. Like, I don't think anyone's walking that besides injury.
That's what I'm saying. I don't get it.
Yeah, but that does make sense, though, why you bring it up about, like, people could be offended. But I do think that definitely the way you talk to a stranger stranger is definitely different than how you talk to, your day one.
Yeah.
Your cousin, whatever. Obviously, so I would exercise some, maybe not caution, but I would, like, obviously don't go all in and talk about, like, your most crazy take with a stranger, right?
Yeah.
But I would just be friendly, just get to know them, start surface level, and I feel like if you start that way, it's really hard to get offended.
I think so.
I mean, there are people in the world who just don't want to talk to other people, just very introverted for whatever reason, and that's okay. And that's why you'll have some not super positive, outcomes, interactions, exactly. But I feel like for the most part, maybe people are scared to have some fear about talking to people. But I think if you talk to them, most people would be inclined to carry on the conversation. Like, people like to talk.
They do.
The people's favorite thing is to talk about themselves.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
100%. And so, you get to meet someone new. They get to talk about themselves. You get to hear new interactions, you get to have a new interaction, new experiences, new perspectives. Like, it's just so hard not to live your life that way. I don't know. It's just, there's so many positives to doing that I think that almost everyone should be doing that,
Did you learn that from The Laws of Seduction or The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene?
I've heard of that book.
You haven't read it?
I haven't read it, no.
Is that When Friends Influence People?
How to Win? I think so. I've read that one. I've read that one. And yeah, it talks about, some of them I think are a bit outdated. Some of the lessons, like using your name. I do think that's good.
That's outdated?
I think sometimes people, I don't know if you see like stuff online about it, but sometimes like finance bros or like people will like use your name in every other sentence. So you definitely have to do it in moderation, right?
Yeah, you don't want people to notice.
Exactly. Like, hey John, how's your day? Oh, that's great, John.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Strange.
Like, yeah, because a lot of people, that book's not really popular. And so you have to subtly weave that in.
Mm-hmm.
But no, some of his lessons, man, are truly timeless, for sure. And so just asking people questions, not even that you're just trying to get them to talk, but genuine questions, like stuff you see about them, stuff you hear them say. Like, I mean, people love having that. It makes their day sometimes. It makes my day sometimes with people like, oh, like, I mess with their shoes, I mess with their shirt, whatever, like, stuff like that, and it starts the conversation, So...
For sure. What's your favorite book of all time?
My favorite book of all time. Bro, it's hella niche. It's called Sully by an author named John Grisham. He writes a lot of, like, legal mysteries, but this isn't one of them. This is part of his, like, he kind of ventures off into just fiction. Just a brief, like, summary. I don't want to spoil anything, but it talks about the story of a South Sudanese player. Sudanese or South Sudanese, I forgot.
A soccer player?
A basketball player, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he's, like, scouted in Sudan from a young age. He comes from a very, poor upbringing, but he's super good in basketball, and he's, like, super tall. Mm-hmm. And so he's working. It takes a lot of grit. There's some setbacks, but he eventually makes it. I believe it's college. He plays college, and then he goes to the NBA. But it's a really cool story. Sad ending, I'm not gonna lie. But really cool story. Really cool story, just like the build-up. And I don't know why. Like, I read the book like 5 years ago, but it still sticks with me today. It was just a really good plot, really well articulated. The author is great. Like, he has crazy books. I highly recommend him. John Grisham. But that's probably, that comes to mind first. What about you? Any books that stick out?
It's a good question. I would say it's a business book. Okay. It's called Cashvertising.
I've never heard of that one. What's it about?
It's about, like, how to advertise your business and get more customers, pretty much. And honestly, like, it's not the most interesting book if you're not, like, doing something that's in, like, the business realm.
Yeah.
But it's just a book that, like, I can always remember.
Come back to?
Yeah, I always come back to it, and it always had, like, a very positive impact on me. I think I need to read more. And, like, read some cooler books.
I don't think you're the only to read more. I think our entire generation and Generation Alpha should start reading.
Yeah. No more Instagram reels.
No more reels.
But yeah. Thank you for listening to our podcast. It's the first one.
First one.
Let us know what you think. Yeah, first of many. Let us know what you think. And stop scrolling on your phone. Talk
Please.
to people and read a book. All right.
And go out.
Go outside.
Go outside. Touch some grass. Just experience the world.
No.
You only live once.
For sure. All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.